Scorpio! Welcome to December of 2017. Alright, I am here to show you this framework. I am Mountain Medicine Tarot. I also have a mindset consulting business where I use this framework. Wow, that one wanted to come out. So we start in the past, which is down here at the bottom, of which you got the space of the West, which is what the next step is. And we'll go over that. Okay, so in the past, you've been doing your work as far as concentrating on your inner self and your goals. And in your inner goals, we have the ritual of joy. So we have this person who's reaching upwards towards the sky. They are dancing through a field of wildflowers. They are just embodying the amount of joy. So I feel like that is just something either you really need right now or something that you have been making a priority in your life, which makes pretty good sense, because that is a good idea. And then up top here is the connection to our higher self or higher beings, whatever you believe. And we have self-expression. So you're being called by your higher self or higher knowing, universal knowing, to present yourself in a way that really lights you up. So this is all about self-expression. Back in the olden days, the tribal days, people would paint their face to be the wise one, the warrior, the young one. They would have nurturers, chiefs, executive, decision makers, that type of thing. And you could tell who they were by how they painted their face. So it's just important that we take the time to ensure that the way that we look on the outside reflects this inner us that we have been doing the work on. And projecting ourselves is a beautiful art form. It's not anything to be scared of doing. It's not anything to feel ashamed of. We should be putting ourselves out there in the utmost secure way. Ah, perfect. So rites of passage. May have heard about this in some different stories and that. This is just the path of life. It goes from red to blue because the red road is in the physical, and then we have here the spirit goes up, and then he's on a spirit road which is blue. So it's just this balancing act of spiritual awakening and earthbound nurturing. So we have this Father Sky, Mother Earth duality, and it is male and female sides, right and left brain, and you'll hear me be kind of a squeaky wheel when it comes to that, because it's this balance that really keeps us in alignment. So speak your truth, always be who you know that you are, because I feel like you've been doing the work. You know who you are, you just haven't really made the executive decision to put yourself out to the world as of yet, and this has been a common theme. I feel like self-confidence is something that we can actually incorporate into a career path, and I feel like if career is something that you've been thinking of, doing the inner work and working on yourself in like the emotional sector is actually going to help feed you those ideas for what to do next and what the next step should be, because right here is our path moving forward section, and because it just has changed, I feel like that just solidifies the fact that you have ultimate amounts of options. You don't ever have to question yourself. So let's look here to the space of introspection. Clarity, breakthrough, visions, the truth will come through and you don't have to worry about working for it, whatever that means. You have this sense of self that's very strong. It's just been remaining hidden. You can kind of see that this person is hiding behind these feathers, but her eyes are still looking forward. So she's not dropping her eyes. She's seeking a truth that only she can find and only she can see. So it's really important to just keep chasing your happiness, because that is something that is going to lead you to the career path that you seek, the expression that you seek, everything. And then we have here trust. So it has this same earthy energy to it. It's got this brown earthy color to it. And it's all about creating yourself some personal space. This is the place of the cuddle cave, which is what I like to call it. Just because we all need a time to just kind of close the door to our bedroom, to find the things we want to find about ourselves, and to figure out how we're going to put it out to the world, because it's kind of hard to do. We have all these fears of rejection or not being able to truly change because people already know who we are, and it's just simply not the case. You just have to have faith and trust that everyone around you is going to be as open to receiving as you are, because I feel like that is a power that you have. And this is all about cleansing, so detoxification, energy flow, bringing in the wind. We've got another bear here and a bear here, so that's all about this cuddle cave that I was talking about. It's very important that we give ourselves that time, space, and I don't know, I just want to call it cuddle time because it's just you, and you have to just become your own best friend. And I feel like either that's something you've been doing and you feel confident in it with yourself. It's just a matter of getting out into the world, which could be. So then we have down here the idea of identity. This is Scorpio. That's pretty wonderful because this is Scorpio's reading. So, self-discovery, vulnerability. Sometimes Scorpios get a bad rap for being kind of emotional roller coasters, kind of like Gemini, but with the water energy, it's kind of frozen right here just because you have to give yourself a little bit of a timeout. Like, you have to stop flowing so effortlessly and give yourself some time here to look into yourself and do the self-discovery work. Okay, so that's it for the medicine wheel cards. Now we'll get into some Amazonian stuff. These are little teeny cards that come from the Amazon. All of my cards are Native American, but they span through 2 whole continents. So 2 of the authors are the same, and then a couple of them I found just sitting on my shelf. Honestly, I don't even know where these ones... The book, I have like 4 copies of the book for these cards, and so finally went on Amazon and I was like, I don't know why I have copies of this book, but obviously they want to be seen. So 2 cards came out. Alright. The Obsidian Knife tells me that there's something to cut cords of. We've got Breakthrough right here. And so I feel like it could just be this idea of hiding. And the next one that popped out with it is Transformation. So the lizard right here, in this deck you'll see a lot of blue and bright red. And it's this duality of hot and cold. And the lizard lives between the 2. So this little guy is like evolution at its best. He's got fins as well as legs. He lives in the water, he lives in land, he represents cold and hot. So I feel like you need to sever this idea that you have to hide. I got this same reading for someone else. I want to say it was Cancer, but I'm not sure. Alright, so this right here is a little ocelot. He looks like a jaguar, but he's a little bit smaller. The cool idea behind these guys is that they climb up in the trees so high that when they come back down, they have sunspots. So they live in a dark forest that's all green and brown, but when they go up to the sun makes them yellow. So they have all of these messages, but big cats are messengers that keep very quiet. So anytime you get a big cat, you'll realize that, or you'll learn, you'll be told that they know when to speak, they know when to pounce, they're very impeccable, they're very precise, they're very specific and strategic. So I feel like this transformation is something that maybe has been on the wayside for quite some time. Something that's been on your mind about yourself and your openness to be expressed through other people. So it's not something to be afraid of. It's just something that we need to release any fear around it and just do it anyways. This right here, we have again this duality. Male and female, ice and fire. This is man and woman balancing perfectly. So it's just a balancing act. And it's one that everybody plays. Everybody plays the balancing act of this crazy world called life. So you'll actually find that the more you identify with yourself and put yourself out there, the more interaction you're going to see coming your way from other people, and the more joy you're going to see coming to you from others. So it's kind of an openness to be available for love in all ways, and to be ready for change, because we have some transformation. Alright, and then this one is like a calendar. It kind of looks like the Mayan calendar here. So you can see that, and let me grab the book. This is the smoking mirror. Okay, so this is all about being able to see the unseen. A lot like this energy right here. So when you go far enough up into this sense of discovery, what you'll find is that other people are going through the same thing. So this is supposed to be a mirror. Kind of hard to see. It looks more like a Mayan calendar. It's like chiseled in stone. But there's another card with the same meaning in this deck. Let's see if it's just hanging out. See if it'll pop out here so I can show you the mirror. But it has to do with your reflections being seen in other people. So if you think about going to like a party and being able to see the variety of people, there's people who are very open with themselves, very Alright, well, I'll pull these just as more clarifiers, but anyway, you'll be able to see, and then people will glob onto spiritually open people, and people will shy away from people who just have rejection body language with their hands crossed or leaning up against the wall, things like that. So let's go through these really quick because they must be important. So this is seeking and finding. This shows a reflection right here. So this is you, and then this is your higher self. It's your guides. It's the universal knowing that's on the other side of fear. So if you're on a quest for understanding something that's deeper than face value, this card is showing that your guides are listening, and they hear you, and they see you, and they're here for you. You just need to find balance within yourself, and once you find balance, then your guides can get in. See, once there's this perfection, and this duality, and this happiness, then the spirits can get in. You kind of have to pave a path for them to find you. They're there waiting for you just on the other side of fear. So one of the best things that you can do is this here, which is the earth connection. This is like a place in the desert here where people would go for 3 days or longer on a vision quest, and they would, and that's this, and they would sit there by themselves for like 3 days until they did see the answer, and they just let go of any kind of fear or worry or designated responsibility, and in that point they're able to empower themselves to the fullest. So I'm thinking maybe somebody has a little bit too much distraction going on that's outside of themselves, which is quite common. We just need to connect to the earth and get that grounded feeling. I feel like that would be very beneficial because we do have quite a few bears here there's change coming, but I feel like it's just very open-ended. It's very up to you what happens, but you have collected enough knowledge throughout your experiences, and you know what you are doing. You just have to have more faith in yourself. But this here is a war bonnet, and every piece of the headdress has to be earned. It's not something you get just out of the blue. It's something that spiritually heightened people are able to be graced with, if you will. So you have to earn all of your eagle feathers, and then once you have all the feathers in place and all the beads in place, then you can have this. And this is saying that you do have all of the pieces to the puzzle, and you are ready to move forward in whatever way that you find possible for yourself. Just connect with the higher beings, whatever it is that you believe, and connect to the earth at the same time. It's just like this very being grounded. It's kind of like this idea of a tree, which I like to use as an example because they're giving and receiving all at the same time. So we reach upwards to provide with air and to give people our fruit, but we're also taking energy from the earth. So you need to really embody that. Give yourself the cleansing space to take care of yourself to the fullest, and then reach upwards enough to connect to your higher self and really just love what is there. Oh, we have a hummingbird. Beautiful. And that's in this transformation place right here. This is a feminine energy that is just very vibrant and one of the most fascinating animals with their fast-beating wings and everything. It's just invoking change and having magic all around you. So that's a very powerful energy to have in your corner. Very powerful and very attractive as far as other people. I mean, if you go to it's like an Aquarius type energy, really. And so I don't feel like there's any cutting cords that needs to be done with that knife over there that is necessarily like you need anything to end in order to transform. I just think you need to concentrate on what it is that makes you happy and just do that. Okay, so we have the whale, and that one came out in the last reading. Whales are very humongous, obviously. They're very ancient, so they're connected to wisdom and powers of the universe as well, just because of how much they're able to give. They kind of have this abundance type energy because in the olden days they could feed the people for well on a year, I believe. And so it's like harnessing of energy and giving of energy. It's like that giving and receiving that I was saying earlier, because that free flow that they have is something that you can embody with this hour of power over here, where you're just kind of happy all the time and go with the flow and stop trying to force anything, because really all you're needing right now is balance. We've got duality all over the place, and then followed here with magic after cleansing. So coming into your true power, balancing your male and female sides, which is your left and right brain, so making sure you distinguish between the two. And I am opening up my group program. I'll go into that more. We have the rabbit that just came up, so I'll leave him there. But he's just fear. He has a way of attracting things he doesn't want on accident just by concentrating on things he does not actually want. So you have a lot of power, and so you just need to use it in a way that makes sense. Ah, perfect. Okay. I guess he should go here. So the Groose is a little bird, like a little turkey-looking bird. The thing I remember most about these guys is they put their head down and run. So they're actually very action-packed. And it has to do with the sacred spiral just because they have like their little, what would you call it, tunnels. Little tunnels in the grass. And they stick with the same space. And I don't know, they're just very fast-moving. And the sacred spiral has to do with your belief systems, keeping those very true to you, and using them to your advantage. So I feel like there's just simply no reason for fear, and it has a way of creeping into our feelings a lot, but really there's no need for it. You have the abilities given to you by the universe in order to create happiness, and you just need to, maybe if this has to do with career, we should be looking into how to use your unique bright light of your being to create income. And so I think what's most important is to do the grounding work and just kind of creating a lightning rod out of yourself, and do this, where you just say every morning you wake up, I am open and ready to receive. And really that's all. Even if it's just wisdom to figure out what it is you should be embodying, because I feel like maybe you're coming up to a point where you can no longer be a seed anymore. You kind of have to bloom. And so if we were to just get rid of that guy and get rid of, I don't know, we don't need to get rid of anything but fear. But anyway, just be extremely positive. It looks to me like you've been doing the inner work. You're a joy to be around, obviously. People enjoy you, and you have this way of bringing in energy and bringing in magic for other people. Just embody it to the fullest potential and not being afraid of transformation or change, because we do have change, magic. Self-discovery is huge, so just be connected to the earth and the sky, because really on this planet there's nothing else that's different from that. So the earth is all feminine nature, which is going to be creating art and embodying your true self as far as your body, taking care of your body, doing the cleansing work, and then moving forward with your mind, which is like this vision quest. It is change, transformation, moving forward with the universe and universal energy at your back. So you have all sorts of support. There's no need for this fear to come up at all. You have all this universal knowing that's coming to you, and the options are endless. I feel like maybe that is part of the problem, is that there's just so many options that it's like you just kind of need to fine-tune and find what it is that you love and then embody that to the fullest. So in order to help with that and all of this transformation, I am hosting a group program. It's going to be the month of December, where we go through each one of these quadrants for 1 week of the month. So we'll do first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and we will end right here on this very last quadrant that will prepare you for the 2018 New Year, which is to put your head down and to run. And it's in this sacred spiral, which is really to fine-tune your belief systems, which is going to become your identity. So be vulnerable with it. Be open to change. Don't be afraid of anything at all. And just know that you've done the work that you need to in order to balance yourself and to make yourself happy. You're a joy to be around. Transformation is going to be perfect. Just let go of the fear and you are good. And then I'd love to see what it is that you tuck your head down and run for. So go ahead and find me on that Facebook group. It's just facebook.com/groups/mountain medicine mindset. And we will be doing, like I said, each one of these quadrants for 1 week and gear you up for the new year. So I would love to work with you there. If you want to schedule a one-on-one, feel free to email me or find me there on Facebook to schedule a reading. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and 2018 if I don't hear from you.